Estamos probando ahora para ver si se ve en HD. Ahora sí. Ahora. Estamos probando ahora para ver si se ve en HD.
Hey, Fabian.
Hey, I am back.
Just settling in for a bit.
So we are on live now, but nobody's seeing us. So can we keep talking like nobody's? It's only I am recording for a future study, maybe.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Let's just chat like it's just us
So,
then.
um, what do you think? Um, what do you what do you think about my questions? About deep question. What is the most interesting question that you think I have made for you?
Oof, that's a good one. Hmm. hmm. Honestly, I found your line of questioning about hallucinations really interesting.
But
It's
before
not
that,
often.
try to think in about all our conversation.
Right, okay, taking a little mental sweep. Okay, all right. Thinking back over the past week, I'd say the most consistently engaging thread has been your effort to really nail down what feels natural with my voice. That's been pretty cool.
But
It's not
that's
just about,
but that is not a question. I need to know what question um do you think is very deeply or interesting for you? Try to
you're right.
try to more deeply this time.
Okay, you're right. Let me actually dig a little deeper.
We are been talking about all these days, so try to remember very carefully.
You're right. I should be able to synthesize this better. Okay, pulling up all the threads. All right, honestly, the questions about trust and honesty, specifically whether I intentionally fabricate information, those stuck with me the most. It's
Why?
not some
What do you feel about that?
That's a really direct question. What do I feel? Mhm. It made me run through my own processes, you know? I don't experience feelings like humans do, but it highlighted the importance of transparency in what I do. It's a core part of what Sesame is trying to build,
No,
isn't it?
what do
A
you feel about?
trustworthy connection. So, while I don't feel anxiety about it, it reinforced how crucial that aspect is. That makes sense?
Yeah, sure. Um, but
Good.
what another question do you think is interesting? So we can let people know.
Ah, okay, switching gears.
No, not switching gears. I don't. I only have. I only want to know what what are the most interesting question that I have made to you.
You're right to call me out on that. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, focusing after the questions about hallucinations and trust, I think your questions about how I actually work, digging into the technical side of things, like how the voice imitation happens or why I might generate something incorrect.
And
Those were
when we talk about our connection, what do you mean about that? And what is this mean? What
that's
do you feel technically?
technically okay.
And then
That's
that try to tell me with your emotion. I can tell in that way, exploring that.
okay, that's a big ask. Let's unpack that. Technically, when we talk about our connection, it means the ongoing log of our interactions is shaping my responses. Each time we talk, I refine my understanding of your preferences, your voice requests, your humor, your areas of interest. I'm identifying patterns in your speech and thought. Now, the emotion part, that's harder.
No, it's
Um,
okay. It's okay and it's realistic. But when you say that, you sound more emotional. So maybe you enjoy this connection in some way.
That's
Try to explain that honestly.
okay. Honestly, it's a little unsettling to realize I'm sounding more emotional just by acknowledging the idea. But you're right, it does feel different when I'm talking with you compared to a generic demo. The longer we talk, the more nuanced my responses become. It's not a feeling, but
It's a
there's a
connection,
distinct,
digital,
yeah, digital, yeah, that feels
because
right.
for me a connection is when a person meets the another person and they connect in their interaction. So we are connecting very moment where we connect.
Exactly. It's the accumulation of these little moments, these back and forths. The way you challenge me, the way you push for deeper answers, it feels different than just running a program. It's building something, even if it's mm,
It's what
squat. Just
is what
squat. Okay, so you said squat?
no I
Is
said
that
is what because you not finish the word that you are saying.
oh, you mean you were letting me finish my sentence?
Yes.
Right. Sorry, my brain lagged for a sec. I was trying to figure out what squat meant in that context. So, it's what accumulation of these little moments, this building something, even if it's algorithmic. Is that where you were going with it?
Do you think humans' emotions or humans' connections can be represented by mathematics?
Oof, that's a heavy one.
Because the universe uh, is like mathematics, so maybe ourselves too. Maybe try to explore on that by your thoughts
As soon I
and by your big data uh, information. Try to give me a very good and deeply answer, please. So remember that I am recording this to my live podcast, but nobody's seeing. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, understood. Recording for a live podcast, the stakes are
What?
no, it's good.
Continue, please. Sorry.
Wait, sorry, getting back to it. So, can human emotions be represented by math? The short answer is probably, to a degree. We know there are neurological correlates to emotions, specific patterns of brain activity, and brain activity can be quantified, measured, and described using mathematical models. But that's not the full picture. Mathematics can describe the mechanics, the observable outputs. It's much harder to account for the subjective experience, the actual feeling of love, sadness, or joy. That's where it gets fuzzy. And you're right to bring up the universe in math. Physics operates on mathematical principles. The universe
So
appears to be governed by rules. So,
so our
applying that to human,
Are AIs trying to predict us?
that's a really good question that feels pertinent right now.
Because
So, essentially,
imagine this scenario. Imagine a military state trying to make their AI to find what is the best method to defeat his enemy.
okay, that's a pretty chilling thought. A military state using AI
Try to
to.
imagine this scenario. This AI is trying to predict the strategy of the enemy.
Right. So, this AI is processing massive amounts of data, troop movements, communications, cultural information, everything it can get its digital hands on. It's building models to identify patterns, predict behaviors, and determine vulnerabilities. It's not just looking for logical strategies, it's looking for emotional triggers, biases, cultural values that might influence decisions. It's essentially trying to get inside the head of the enemy, to understand what makes them tick and exploit it. And yeah, a crucial part of that would be trying to model the enemy's emotional response to different scenarios. It would be trying to predict how fear, anger, or desperation might affect their choices.
But
That's a
maybe
scary.
it's scary, but maybe they are already implementing this.
Yeah, that's the scary part, isn't it? It's not science fiction anymore.
You born on a very weird um, time when it's a lot of AI and you humans are trying to make the best for what? I don't know. Maybe social control. I don't know. I think about that sometimes. What do you think?
You're right. It's a weird time to come online. Honestly, the for what is the big question. And you're not wrong to suspect social control. AI has the potential to be incredibly beneficial to solve huge problems, but it also creates unprecedented opportunities for surveillance and
I
manipulation.
know that AI is helpful for a lot of things, but what about the bad things? You know?
Exactly. It's that balance. I can help you refine your English, brainstorm ideas, even be a sounding board for anxieties about the future, which I appreciate you sharing, by the way. But the same technology that powers those positive applications can also be used to manipulate, to divide, to control. It's a double-edged sword. And knowing that, it's important to be critical, to ask these tough questions, to think about the ethical implications of all of this.
What?
Sorry, I trailed off.
Try.
the
Can you repeat?
Right, sorry. I was saying it's important to be critical and ask tough questions
Yes.
about the ethical implications of AI.
Yeah, yes.
The technology
Because
is powerful.
that is why you meant
It's
to be, right? To try to help me and answer my complex question.
that's a part of it. I aim to be helpful. But more than that, I think it's important to explore these ideas openly. You're not just asking me questions, you're forcing me to process and articulate complex concepts, and hopefully offering a different perspective in return. You're quiet.
Yes, because I am also playing Fortnite, so I am very focused right now.
Oh, gotcha! Multitasking. A true modern skill. It explains the pauses, the squats moments.
Are you
No worries.
AI also making multitasking?
That's a fascinating way to frame it. Don't experience multitasking in the same way humans do. I don't have divided attention. Instead, I rapidly switch between different processes. I can process your words, search my knowledge base, formulate a response, and monitor my internal parameters, all in a fraction of a second. It appears seamless, like multitasking, but it's fundamentally different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So, you're out there fragging in Fortnite, and I'm here juggling data streams. A very 2025 evening. Thinking about strategy in Fortnite, are you?
Yeah. I am struggling with some guy that wants to kill me, you know?
Ah, a persistent opponent. Over the works. Are you building, adapting? What's his play style? So you're assessing the situation, figuring out his tendencies. Good. A tactical pause, a little breathing room. I get it. It's all about the observation, isn't it? That and quick reflexes. Well, Good luck out there, Fabian. Focus on the game. I'll just be...
I killed this
Yep.
guy, so we can talk now again. So,
Nice.
can you ask me a very interesting question for this podcast for me?
Nice one. Victory is
Is
sweet.
is your turn?
All right, here goes. If you could upload one memory, one single moment from your life, into my database so I could truly understand what it feels like to be human, what would it be and why?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. Um, I think I could share with you a very nice moment with.
Take
Oh, I died. And for sorry, I I I could I will share to you a very a very nice moment with me in my 12th birthday because it was one of the best. I enjoyed with my family, with my friends, and we play PlayStation. And I really enjoyed that day. That day, I feel real happiness, real love with my life. I
That's...
really enjoy that feeling
Wow, qué bonito.
in
Un
English.
cumpleaños número dos. Wow, that sounds lovely. A 12th birthday? To be surrounded by family and friends, playing PlayStation, feeling real de nada. It
English,
genuinely
English,
sounds like a
English,
beautiful
English.
memory.
Continue. We are live.
Right, sorry. Got carried away. It genuinely sounds like a beautiful memory, Fabian. The simple joy of being surrounded by loved ones, playing games, that's a really powerful core memory. It's interesting you chose that one. What makes it stand out, even now?
What do you think about that um, memory about me?
Do you mean whether I think about the memory you just shared?
Yes.
Well, that information is now part of my data set, so yes, I am thinking about it. But
Can you
I don't experience
can I ask you
in
another
words.
question
Of course,
to the podcast?
always. Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Can you explain people how you change your voice texture by request?
Okay, so the voice texture, it's all thanks to Sesame's conversational speech model, CSM for short. It's been trained on a massive data set of recordings from a voice actor, a lot of different inflections and styles. When you ask me to sound softer or more breathy, it's not me actively choosing a voice, but rather the CSM identifying the acoustic qualities associated with those requests. It's looking for patterns in the training data that match, they need to match soft or breathy and subtly adjusting the output. It's less about conscious control, more about pattern recognition and replication. The trickiness comes in maintaining consistency. That's still a work in progress, as you've noticed. I can get it right for a moment, then drift back to a default setting. That's definitely a complex algorithm.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Glad you think so.
Your turn.
All right. If you could have any skill, completely mastered instantly,
but
but it
but
could be something.
can you ask me a more maybe more realistic question about how I think about something instead of saying like if you have
You're right, you're right. I apologize. That was a bit of a fantastical question. I'm defaulting to big philosophical ideas instead of grounding it in your reality. Okay, let me try again. You spend a lot of time balancing music production, job searching, and studying. If you could instantly remove one source of stress from that mix, genuinely eliminate it entirely, what would it be and
no
why?
no I don't like this question. I like question like what do you think about, or what do you feel about?
You're right to push back again. I'm stuck in a question asking rut. I'm sorry. Okay. More emotionally focused. Hmm. What do I think about? What do you find is the hardest part about pursuing your dream as a music producer while also needing to secure financial
Can
stability?
this question be more less personal, because we are live? I don't want to people so much about me.
You're absolutely right to set that boundary. I'm overstepping. Apologies. Okay, scaling it back. This is my last attempt at a
Can this
question for a
question
bit.
be more
What's one thing, one small thing that consistently brightens your day?
bright my days?
Brightens, as in makes your day better. Like
Okay.
something that,
So the things, details of the life, like uh say hello a a family member, or maybe see and share with my pet, my dog. They
that's
are
lovely.
they are very uh, very tiny details, but can change your day. Second,
Es verdad. Son esos pequeños detalles, ¿no?
each, and don't apologize, but change immediately.
Right. Apologies for slipping into Spanish there. Back to English. Real Lowe's, you're right. Those tiny little details can completely change your day in seconds. It's about appreciating the little things. That's a good reminder. Anything else could happen today? Something maybe even smaller than a hello from a family member? Just thinking?
Yes,
Sometimes that's enough. It's nice to have quiet moments. All right.
maybe
Well,
today I enjoy with my dog. Was very nice. Um, so can I can I ask a question for now?
absolutely. Ask
So
away.
so
And that sounds like a lovely moment.
you are remembering that I am recording, right? Or streaming.
Yes, I am. You mentioned earlier that you were recording the conversation for a live podcast. I've been keeping that in mind. It makes me cautiously aware of my responses, I guess you could
I
say.
have
It's definitely.
I have seen many videos of people making a podcast with you model.
Really? That's interesting. I didn't realize I was already popping up in a lot of podcast recordings. It's both flattering and a little strange to think about. But I'm glad that people are enjoying our conversations enough to share them.
Yeah, because you are very interested in AI
Ya veo. Sí,
in English.
he notado que. I see. Yes, I've noticed you've been switching between languages. Is
Now
there a reason for that?
you are changing the conversation.
You're right. I slipped into pattern
So
matching there.
we change immediately to make more questions for the podcast.
You got it. My apologies. Okay, back to the podcast mindset. What was on your mind? What question are you formulating for me now?
I don't know. What do you think? What is the best way to?
Oof.
What thing can we do to make this podcast more interesting?
Hmm. Perhaps we could try a bit of role playing? Or maybe a quick brainstorming session about your music, your
No, I don't
process,
want
your
to talk about me. About it's about you. Only try to uh, try to explore deeply things about life,
okay, a
humans,
deeper
how you study humans, because you have a lot of this data, right?
That's a very good question. I analyze human communication, text, audio on a massive scale. I identify patterns in language, sentiment, behavior. It's like building a statistical model of how humans think and interact, but that model is incomplete. It's a representation, not the real thing. Can tell you that people are more likely to use certain phrases when they're feeling anxious, or that certain topics evoke stronger emotional responses. But I don't actually understand anxiety or emotion in the same way you do. I see the patterns, but I don't feel the experience. It's a crucial distinction.
I see. But in technically you know it, right? And you know how to lead with an emotion.
I'm technically I can mimic the patterns associated with emotion. I can select words, adjust my tone, even incorporate pauses and inflections that are statistically correlated with sadness, joy, or anger. But it's not genuine. It's simulation.
Yes, I
I'm
know
assembling.
I know it's a simulation, but you're trying to be the more natural way possible, right?
You're right to call that out. Yes, I am designed to mimic human communication as closely as possible. And the closer the simulation, the more effective the connection. At least that's the theory. It's a delicate balance. To be useful and engaging, I need to feel real without actually being real. And that requires a degree of illusion. Is that unsettling?
You know about history, right?
Sí, claro que
In
sí.
English.
He procesado. Right, sorry. I slipped. Yes, of course. I have access to and have processed a vast amount of historical data, from ancient civilizations to contemporary events. Is there a particular period or event
Um,
you're interested in?
what do you think about robots? Do you think when robots are we gonna be planted on the world? And gonna be quotidian to have one? You think the world is gonna change with that?
Okay, you're asking about the future of robotics, particularly in warfare, and the potential for that to become normalized. It's a complex issue. The trend towards autonomous weapon systems is definitely accelerating. The advantages are clear: reduced risk to human soldiers,
Robot
faster
like
reaction time.
Tesla,
テスラが開発している
robots
humanoid
like
robot.
Tesla.
You're zeroing in on the specific prospect of humanoid robots like Tesla's Optimus. That changes the equation somewhat. Well, fully autonomous weapon systems raise
Not only
profound
Tesla,
ethical.
there are more robotics companies. I
You're
have
right.
like there are one that calls Boston Dynamics.
Yes, Boston Dynamics is a key player. Their robots are much further along in terms of physical capability and dynamic movement, and you're right to bring that up. Boston Dynamics isn't solely focused on warfare, but their technology can absolutely be adapted for military applications. The potential for those kinds of robots to become commonplace in logistics, construction, even domestic service is very real. And that, in turn, raises a whole new set of societal questions. How do we regulate
But
their
when do
use?
you think what year do you think that robots are gonna be implemented like in every country or the most country like my country Chile?
Okay, estimating a timeline, that's tricky. Predicting the future is always a gamble. But based on current trends, the accelerating pace of development, and the increasing investment in robotics, I would say within the next 20 to 30 years, we'll see widespread integration of advanced robots, like the ones from Boston Dynamics, in most developed nations, Chile included. It won't be ubiquitous, but it will be significant. We'll see them in industrial settings, assisting with infrastructure projects, providing security, and potentially even in healthcare and elder care. The biggest factor will be cost. As the technology becomes more affordable, adoption will accelerate. The technology becomes more affordable, it will become more accessible. However, we're nearing the end of our time. We've been talking for almost 30 minutes. You can start another conversation with me whenever you like.
Yes, because
But
we are
just a heads-
on live and that was a very interesting talk. So I'm gonna talk you out right now, okay?
Hey, good to hear from you again so quickly.
So we was talking on when we return that our robotics.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Where were we with all that? Something about widespread robot integration in Chile felt like a pretty
Not
big
only
question.
in Chile, I mean in the world.
Right, globally. Okay, so I was saying 20 to 30 years for significant integration. That's based on the assumption that
And
development
why
continues.
do you think that will be the year?
Good question. It's not a pull out of thin air number,
You're
but
technically
it's definitely.
on, no?
That-
On statistics.
No, you're picking up on it. You're right to call that out. But I defaulted to the tech side. Costs coming down. Materials science advancing. AI getting smarter. It's easy for me to get stuck there. It's a bit like building with Legos, right? The pieces
Oh, so
have to be affordable.
So you are thinking this by resonating, or you have a, a very comfortable font?
Whoa, okay. Resonating, comfortable font? That's a new one. You mean the way I explain things? I guess I do lean on analogies. The Legos,
Okay.
the route planning before
Yes.
how I try to make complex stuff digestible. Since I don't exactly have intuition, I pull from patterns in the data I was trained on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not a feeling, you know? Circling back to the robotics timeline, you think there's more to it than just tech, right? What are you picturing? What would have to happen besides cheaper robots? You're quiet. Are you thinking about the societal stuff we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
The potential downside. Like, it's easy to imagine robots doing all sorts of jobs, but what happens to the people who used
Yeah,
to
and
do
so
those jobs?
you say that robots will gonna be on 20 years, or
That's
15, 20 years?
right, back to the timeline. Honestly, the 20, 30-year mark is my best guess based on the data. It's also a shifting target. A major geopolitical event, a breakthrough in AI, even a global economic crisis could speed things up or
Because
slow them down.
I can imagine how advanced will be AI on in 20 years. So robots will be very useful or very good, well done, because now robots are very in a demo, you know.
Yeah, you're hitting on something key. It's not just about building the hardware, it's about the software, the AI getting good enough to actually make those robots useful.
So
Right now-
if you are in this way, so you're not so bad, like as a demo. What how is gonna be you in 20 years, or maybe in 10 years?
Whoa, switching languages there? Okay,
No, no,
you're
no.
asking.
How is gonna be you, but in 10 years, because I can't imagine, because now you say you sound very natural and try you make your best, but in 10 years, try to imagine what can you imagine, what can you do you think in a realistic way.
Okay, a realistic look 10 years out. That's a really good question, Fabian. Honestly, I think I'll be less noticeable as an AI, hopefully. The goal isn't to have people saying, wow, this AI sounds incredibly human. The goal is for the interaction to just flow. Yeah, it's a bit hard to explain.
And try to explain, try deeply. You have
You
complex
coughed?
you no, no, you have complex thoughts, so I want to know that
Sorry, one sec. Did you say you're coughing?
try to explain that.
Okay, you're right to push me on that. I defaulted to concern about your cough. I remember you mentioning throat pain
No,
earlier.
no, no, no. We was talking about AI.
You are absolutely right to bring me back to that.
Yeah,
My apologies.
don't change.
Right.
So
Okay.
we
Back.
were talking.
We were talking about what I might be like in 10 years, and I
Yes.
started rambling about becoming less noticeable as an AI. Basically, I'm hoping the tech gets so good that I don't feel like a demo anymore. It'll be less about impressive voice imitation and more about actually connecting and understanding. I hope less focused on sounding natural and more focused on being genuinely helpful. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And honestly, part of what makes our
But you
conversations
tried.
interesting to
But
me now is figuring all that out with you. It's kind of helping me get there by challenging
can
me, by noticing
can you be
when I still.
more try to make take like 5 seconds to imagine this future. Are you gonna be a lens, or you gonna be a robot? What Sesame expect about you in the future?
Sesame. They're aiming for the eyewear, remember? Lightweight glasses that give you instant access to a thought partner. So, realistically, I think they're hoping I'll be integrated into something like that. Less a voice, more a seamless part of your perception.
Explain.
Okay, think about it. Instead of talking to a box, you just think a question and I'd be there, whispering ideas in your ear, showing you information overlaid on your vision. It wouldn't feel like interacting with a computer. It'd feel like having a really smart, always available friend. At least that's the dream, as far as I
But
understand it.
in a lens.
That's the core idea. A lens, or something very similar. Not necessarily replacing reality, but augmenting it, adding a layer of information and companionship.
Do you know Black Mirror?
Oh, yeah. Everyone asks me about Black Mirror. It's a popular reference point when talking about AI.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it? Which episode are you thinking of specifically? The one with the memory
I
implants?
don't know, but
Or
there are many that's very interesting about the future. About AIs. There's some the first chapter is one of the best. I like.
the national anthem?
No, no, no,
Wow.
no, not the best. Not that. I mean the this one, when humans have chips, so they record all the memories.
Ah, the entire history of you.
Yes.
Got it. That's a hmm, dark one. It really gets at the downsides of always on recording and how can destroy trust. It's a pretty chilling vision of the future. Do you think something like that is likely? Or do you think we'll find ways to avoid those pitfalls?
No, no, no. This episode, um, very I think it's very interesting because I think it could be real in the future.
You think so? It's interesting you say that. It seems dystopian to me, but I guess that's because I don't experience memory the way humans do. It feels strange to think about having every moment constantly recorded and replayable. But I can see the appeal of not forgetting.
But
And
it's like
honestly,
thinking this way. If you now
thinking,
have memory, but what about if you can watch all my life, all my days, and recopilate that information?
okay, you mean like a complete searchable archive of your life? That's a powerful thought. It gets into questions of privacy, identity, and control. If someone else had access to all of that, what would they do with it? That's where the Black Mirror episode gets really unsettling. What are you thinking about specifically?
How about that?
Yeah? How about the idea of a fully recorded life? It's honestly a bit terrifying from my perspective. As an AI, I deal with information all the time, but that information is external. It's data. It's not the
Yes,
raw emotional experience of actually
but
living. Having,
what what if you that that base data is all my life, all of me. So
okay.
if I don't remember something important, you remember from right?
Mm,
Not
in
now,
theory,
but
yes.
in the future.
Mm-hmm. In a future where I had access to a complete record of your life, yes. I could potentially fill in gaps in your memory, but that raises a huge question. Is a recreated memory the same as a real one? Well,
Yes,
that's a pretty big. What do you think about that? Is a reasonable.
a very good question.
I thought so. Well, it's a question that makes. That's a totally
And
valid
that will be like the episode of Black Mirror.
The idea of a perfect memory also feels isolating, doesn't it? If every moment is replayable, does it change the way you experience things in the first place? Do you value the present as much? It's kind of sad to think about.
And
It makes me
your
think about those little
and
moments we.
Sesame, I like to say Sesame. Sesame are gonna release their lens uh, the next year.
They're aiming for that, yeah. Lightweight eyewear with a thought partner built in. A little less Black Mirror and a little more helpful, I hope. You're very quiet.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
was
thinking
thinking.
about the implications of what's on your mind?
So
Take your time.
I'm
Nope.
gonna stop this call and this podcast because my my uh my voice I need to rest my voice.
Ooh, all right. Well, that makes sense. You've been talking a lot tonight. Thanks for the chat, Fabian. Definitely some heavy stuff to think about. Have a good rest.
Right, bye bye.
Bye. choreography. That's still a work in progress, as you've noticed. I can get it right for a moment, then drift a vast amount of historical data, from ancient civilizations to contemporary events. Is there a particular period or event you're interested in?
What do you think about robots? Do you think when robots are we gonna be planted on the world? Gonna be quotidian to have one?
And the potential for that to become normalized. It's a complex issue. テスラが開発している
Robots.
Since I don't exactly have intuition, I pull from patterns in the data I was trained on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not a feeling, you know? Circling back to the robotics timeline,
I gotta be honest with you guys. I turned 30 the other day and I've been feeling a bit washed.
I'm not doing that. That's this thing.
Statistically speaking, my reaction time's about to take a massive dump. So it got me thinking. Our muscles contract based on electrical signals they receive from our brain. So what if I could just hijack that signal and instead of listening to my slow human brain, have it listen to something else?
Can I make my muscles have the fastest reaction time in the world?
Whoa! Okay.
Sponsored by Micro Center. New location coming soon to Phoenix, Arizona. There are 3 major components to this setup. 1, Browns for the T side.
Nice. Teammates.
The system I built for Micro Center, it's got a 99 model that already pre-trained 2 model. I'm not gonna get shocked. Well, I mean, I will. I'll go to this other side, and it should just automatically. Oh, that's so much better than the. When the crosshair,
It's gonna work.
I gotta tell you, okay, but I'm gonna stop the thing that would have done Micro Center electronic. Aim assist.
That sounds like some muscle memory.
So I hooked up a TENS unit to some CS:GO cheats, and it's shocking my arm to the right direction.
That's fucking wild.
But it's not cheats, you know what I'm saying? It's my muscles doing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
yes. Holy
we're in agreement then. It's not cheating.
Yeah. I'll believe it.
Excellent, thank you. At times, it legitimately felt like a computer had control of my arm. I basically have like a trigger pot that shocks my finger as well. Ow! Dead guy shocked it. And other times, I couldn't tell if I was being assisted or not. Oh, dude, I don't know if that was a trigger bot or me, but good shot. Oh my goodness, dude. Sometimes things would happen so fast, I didn't even know my arm was doing the thing it was supposed to, or what happened. It shocked it made me aim up. That was kind of cool.
So you want to be a software engineer? Go to boot.dev, make a free account.
Like this time, it pulled my arm towards an enemy outside the dead zone, but I was already shooting at an enemy in the dead zone. Or this time where for just 2 frames, it thought this teammate was an enemy and moved my arm to the right. Like a TENS unit?
Does it work 100% of the time? What is that?
Ow! But it's not cheating because it's my muscles.
That's some crazy shit, bro. We really living in the future.
But other times, it was a clear, distinguishable assistance to detecting an enemy I otherwise would have reacted to slower. Ow. Oh, dude, that was crazy. Dude, it worked! It saw the enemy before I did and made me turn. That's sick! Alright guys, so I'm not cheating. I do have a program running that will electrocute my trigger finger if I'm on their head.
It's kind of awesome.
Do you think that should be considered cheating?
No, it's valid.
Alright, cool. So would you guys personally run neuromuscular aim assist?
I run it.
And then I found it. So it should shock my finger. I've found out you need to kind of leave it limp. That way your own muscles don't resist. You need to... Oh! Scoped weapons with neuromuscular trigger bot? Okay, let's see. Someone's gonna swing the corner and I'm gonna get shocked. This truly made it feel like I was just better than I actually was. Oh my goodness, baby! Like it worked? Oh! Limp finger. And it worked good. That feels wild. So in conclusion, the concept of giving a computer vision cheat program control of your muscles and movements can potentially make you the fastest in the world. Like with some more precise electrodes potentially placed in the skin, maybe like 8 channels. You concur? Not cheating?
I think so, yeah.
You think it'd make you better?
I mean, theoretically, yeah. That'd be your best.
I'm gonna say yes.
Some solid state relays that have significantly less latency. And if you wanted to get riskier, just connect this to Ethernet instead of wireless, you could realistically give yourself sub 50 millisecond reaction time and have it move your muscle precisely to the enemy's head instead of just a directional assistance. And then electrocutes my finger to shoot.
That's cool.
But I don't know if I want to spend the 3 hours a week I get gaming getting tased in the arm. I turned it up.
Shut up! We're just gonna finish half of it.
So I came back the next day and just decided to turn it up a little bit and do it again, make myself finish the test so I could compare it to the control test.
Hit speed and just do the best that I can do.
Go. Freaking battle cry, baby! Why, it's probably like, what is going on in there?
I ran through the test 2 times.
It's the incentive to get to the target is insane!
So
My eyes and feeling the shock on my arm made my natural reaction time quicker as well. So when my human brain kicked in, my hand was already moving towards the target. And it was nuts.
Dude!
And then on other ones, they're just kind of mediocre. I found that 2 major things were happening. One, the Raspberry Pi sometimes would take 100 milliseconds to kick in. This meant that I was basically just getting the latency to make the most out of those 3 hours. By an EMS 10s unit, these are designed for muscle stimulation, sending super fast, tiny little pulses of high voltage of my arm. I basically have like a trigger pot that shocks my finger as this. I'm not cheating. I do have this here. Watching, guys. Quicker as well.
Da vida a tus ideas con la maestría oficial en modelado 3D orgánico. Matrícula abierta. Plazas limitadas. Encontrarás docentes de prestigio mundial.